need more rocks," said the worker to Sir Topham Hatt. "The ground is too soft for the track." "Well, the rockfall at the open quarry has now been cleared, so I will get the engines to fetch some," said Sir Topham Hatt. They were building a new siding at Maithwaite Station. "Right, engines, the open quarry track has now been cleared, and although it might not look it, it has been declared safe. James, can you get some rocks and bring them to Maithwaite?" said Sir Topham Hatt. "Yes, sir," said James, and he left straight away. James liked the track to the open quarry because it passed over the beach. He stopped. "This track doesn't look safe," thought James, "but I guess it's been tested." He went for it. "Wow, that was actually good fun," thought James. He turned in the turning circle and stopped to get loaded with rocks by Jack. "That's enough," said Jack, and off went James. When he got to Maithwaite, the rocks were unloaded, and off he went for more. And so it continued. "This is rather tiring," thought James. Sir Topham Hatt asked Percy to take over from James. "Is it safe, James?" asked Percy. "It's fun," said James, and off Percy went. "This is nice," said Percy. He stopped again just before going into the quarry. "This really doesn't look safe," thought Percy. But he went for it. Unfortunately, he derailed. What he didn't know was that James had caused a little rock slide when he last left the quarry, and he derailed on those rocks. Jack came up from the quarry and told Percy that Chomper was on his way. Chomper arrived and, being so big and strong, quickly put Percy back on the rails. "Thanks, Chomper," said Percy, and Chomper left. Percy continued. He got his rocks and made it out of the quarry safely. The siding was quickly finished. Sir Topham Hatt thanked the engines and Thomas tried the siding out. Thank you for watching our story, which featured the Hazard Tracks expansion pack. As the engines pass over the rather bumpy track, they knock the warning signs over. The track can be attached to any Trackmaster track, and it's fun to watch the engines snake their way through it. It was another busy day on Sodor, and the trains and buses were hard at work. James had a special delivery to make, so his driver got out to change the points. Three heavy trucks full of rocks were waiting for him. He reversed up to them, and his driver coupled him up. He was about to leave when Bertie stopped by. "Hello, James," he said. "Boy, those trucks look heavy. Be careful." "Yes, yes, I will be," James replied, and off he went. Unfortunately, James had forgotten about a large hill on his journey, and the steep downward slope. So he went for it. At the same time, Bertie was passing underneath. He braked hard, but it was too late. James came to a sudden stop. "Oh no," he said. Rocks were everywhere. Poor old Bertie. Luckily, Sir Topham Hatt was driving by. "Oh dear, what's happened here? Are you alright, Bertie?" he asked. I think so," replied Bertie. "Sorry, sir, it was my fault," said James. "OK," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Let's get this mess cleared up." So he called for the digging rigs. First, Chomper arrived, and he picked up James's fallen trucks and put them back on the track. So James could take them away. Then Chuck and Philip arrived to scoop up the rocks to free Bertie. The road was clear in no time. "Oh no, my engine won't start," said Bertie. "Oh dear," said Sir Topham Hatt. So Chuck and Philip went off to get some help. "Don't worry, Bertie, we'll get you sorted." It wasn't long before Kevin arrived. "Hi Bertie," said Kevin.
I'll get you fixed. And he loaded Bertie onto his truck. He coupled up and off they went. Later on, James was feeling sad. He felt really bad for Bertie, when suddenly he heard a bus. "Hello James, I'm feeling better than ever right now." This really cheered James up, and everything went back to normal.
It was early in the morning on Sodor, and the engines were getting ready for their day's duties. Percy stopped to the coal loader to get his supply of coal for the day, and left. Thomas, however, didn't stop for coal. He just went straight on. But he was being watched. Tom Moss the prank engine, the naughtiest engine on Sodor, was watching from his tunnel and had noticed that Thomas never actually used the coal loader. Where does he get his coal from, thought Tom Moss, and he decided to follow Thomas. Now up ahead was an old quarry. It wasn't the narrow gauge Blue Mountain quarry, but an old standard gauge one. Now only Thomas knew that the coal loader here had some really good quality coal in it that made Thomas feel good. He got his coal, but Tom Moss had now discovered his secret. So this is where he comes, Tom Moss thought to himself. Thomas started his day's duties, and Tom Moss slipped back into his tunnel to think up some mischief. The next day, Thomas went to the coal loader in the quarry again. Oh, that's bad news. Tom Moss's tunnel's empty. Thomas turned into the coal loader. Disaster! Rocks fell all over him. Somebody had replaced a lot of the coal with rocks. Thomas was stuck. He was going nowhere. And now Tom Moss was coming to see how his prank had turned out. He laughed and left. Percy was looking for Thomas everywhere. Eventually, he went to the quarry entrance. He heard Thomas's whistle. "There you are, Thomas," said Percy. "I've been looking everywhere." "Oh dear, I think you need some help." He steamed off backwards. Shortly afterwards, Diggin Rigs Sam arrived. "Oh dear, Thomas." "Don't worry, I'll get you out." And he started scooping the rocks out of the way. In no time at all, Thomas was free. He thanked Sam, and Sam left. Thomas left the quarry without any coal, but quickly made it to the regular coal loader and filled up. Percy was waiting for Thomas as he pulled up. Thank you for getting me help, Percy. That was very kind. I won't get any more coal from the quarry. They both steamed off. But then Thomas saw Tom Moss in his tunnel. "You," he said. Tom Moss realised he'd been seen and made a run for it. Thomas chased, but Tom Moss had disappeared. One day, he said. Thanks for watching our story, which used the Trackmaster Busy Quarry set. Every time Thomas goes through the coal loader or quarry loader, the coal in his truck flips from empty to full and full to empty, which worked well every time. Thomas was on his way to see the Minion scientists, who had a new jet engine for him to try out. Thomas remembered their first engine. It went so fast, he ended up in the sea. But he really wanted to go faster than Gordon, so he was ready to try again. When he arrived, the Minion scientist showed Thomas the new jet. It looked like the old one, but smaller. Thomas was pleased, and they attached it to him ready for testing. Remembering last time, Thomas had brought along a flying hat and goggles for protection.
Ready, go, go! Go! Go!
Thomas started, but didn't feel like he was going any faster than usual. Said the Minions. Then all of a sudden, the jet started. Thomas was going faster and faster and faster. It works well, said Thomas. Now, how do I turn it off?
Uh-oh.
The Minions had forgotten an off switch. The points were changed and Thomas was heading for the engine shed.
Oh.
Well, that's one way to stop. The shed collapsed, but Thomas seemed okay with his flying hat on. The jet had turned itself off. Gordon happened to be passing and stopped. Oh dear, Thomas. Speed doesn't suit you. Leave that to me. And off he went. Diggin Rigs' chomper arrived and started moving the collapsed shed. Thomas easily got back on the track on his own. He thanked Chomper and took his flying hat and goggles off. everyone agreed some changes were needed to the Mark II jet engine. Thanks for watching our story featuring the Trackmaster Thomas and the Jet Engine special. Thomas comes with a removable flying hat and goggles. He has special marks all over him and is pulling the jet engine car and one other with a removable cargo. The jet doesn't have an engine and is just pulled by Thomas. We just increased the speed of the video to make it look like he was going faster. One day, Mickey, Donald and Pluto went to the park. Peppa, George and Rebecca were already there having fun on the tyre zip wire. They all said hello and Mickey, Donald and Pluto headed towards the roundabout. When they got off, Mickey and Donald went over to the slide, but Pluto wandered off in the other direction. He could smell something delicious. He reached a small cave and saw a large, juicy bone. He was so excited he barked loudly, which disturbed the wooden supports. Rocks started falling and blocked the entrance. Pluto was trapped. That was fun, said Donald. Where's Pluto? Wondered Mickey. They asked Peppa. Yeah, he went that way, she said. Thank you, they said, and off they went. I can hear him, said Donald. He's in that cave, cried Mickey. Oh no, he's trapped. Don't worry, said Donald. The digging rigs can help us. Sam, Chuck and Philip arrived very quickly. Don't worry, we'll get him out of there, said Sam, and they got to work. When the cave was clear, Pluto emerged with his bone. Oh, Pluto, said Mickey, don't run off like that again. Thank you, everyone. No problem, they said. Whenever you need us, just give us a shout. There was a storm brewing on Sodor. The engines were busy, hoping the worst of the storm would miss them. The rain started, and the storm was getting nearer. Then there was trouble. a bolt of lightning struck the track on top of the bridge. The track came apart and the ballast under the rails fell onto the track below. Percy was just about to pass, saw the ballast, braked but couldn't stop. He left the rails, almost saved himself, then toppled over. Poor Percy. By chance, Thomas came along on the other track. "Percy, are you all right?" "Yes, just the wrong way up," said Percy. "I'll get some help," said Thomas. "Oh dear," said a passing Gordon. Thomas went to warn Gordon. "Gordon, don't!" But it was too late. Gordon had derailed on the bridge. It was lucky the track didn't collapse and bring Gordon crashing to the ground, but he was stuck. "Don't just stand there, Thomas," shouted Gordon. "Go and get some help." Thomas steamed off. On another part of the island, the Paw Patrol Lookout Centre were keeping watch, and their periscope had found the accident. "I think your services may be required here, Rubble," said Marshall. Thomas came steaming along, pulling Rocky the crane. The storm had now passed. They pulled up by Percy. "We'll get you up right, Percy," said Rocky. "What about me?" said Gordon. "No, not you yet," said Thomas. "We need to move Percy first, just in case you fall on him while you're being moved." "How reassuring," said Gordon. Thomas moved Rocky into position. Rocky and Thomas together were strong. "Hurry up," shouted Gordon again. Very soon, Percy was back on the rails and left. Thomas steamed round to Gordon. "OK, Gordon, we're ready now, except we can't reach you. But don't worry, help is on the way," and with that they moved back. Help was indeed on the way in the shape of the massive digging rigs crane Buster. Buster arrived and got into position. His arm pushed the track that Gordon was on upwards. With Buster supporting the track, Gordon could move off the bridge. He came round and thanked Buster and then continued on his journey. Buster used his welding attachment to repair the track. Thomas thanked Buster and off he went. "We just need to clear the track now," said Thomas to Rocky. And at that moment, Rubble arrived in his bulldozer. Thomas told him what had to be done, and he set to work. The track was soon cleared. Thomas thanked Rubble. Rubble left, and with everything now cleared up, Thomas left with Rocky.
One day, Diesel 10 was in a particularly annoying mood. First, he got Toby. Unfortunately, Toby was carrying fireworks. Then he got Thomas, who was carrying jam. As soon as Thomas saw the tree, he braked hard, which sent the jam flying. He was covered in jam. Then Diesel got Billy and his chickens. Oh dear. Finally, he got Percy. What Diesel 10 didn't realise though, was that a rock had fallen onto the track. The rock broke Diesel 10's brakes. So he drove straight off the track. He really was in trouble now. Sir Topham Hatt soon arrived. "You've been a very naughty engine, haven't you?" he said. "Yes," Diesel sulked. "I'm sorry." "Okay," said Sir Topham Hatt. "We'll get you fixed." So he called the digging rigs. Chip cut the rocks around Diesel. Philip scooped them up, and Chuck carried them off. Victor then brought Rocky, and they pulled Diesel back onto the track. Diesel was then put on a truck and carried off to get fixed. So Diesel 10 learnt his lesson. Well, we hope so anyway. I'm Dave, thanks for watching my video. Here's another you may have missed.